Good morning and welcome to this introduction to the Timetoast website. This website allows students to create interactive timelines that integrate audio, visual, and video components to create an engaging and interactive experience as compared to a traditional timeline. To begin, go to www.timetoast.com and create an account. Once you have created your login, you will automatically see your dashboard. I already have an account, so we are currently viewing my dashboard. To start a new timeline, you will click Add Timeline. You will see that you have two options. You have Unbound Timeline and Classic Timeline. And since we are utilizing the free version, we're going to click Classic Timeline because you only get one Unbound Timeline with the free version. For today's example, I'm going to create a timeline on the women's suffrage movement. And you can set your status to draft while you're working, but your timeline will not be viewable to the public until you hit publish. I'm going to go ahead and hit publish because I can always come back and make changes to the timeline. You do not have to choose a category, but I'm going to choose history. Photos are also optional. I already have several photos in here, so I'm going to go ahead and choose this particular photo, but I will show you later how to upload a photo if you choose to upload a photo. And now I hit Create Timeline. To add events and dates to your timeline, you will either choose Add Event or Add Time Span. I was a former history teacher, so I have a lot of experience with the women's suffrage movement, and I know that I want my timeline to begin with the Seneca Falls Convention and to end with the ratification of the 19th Amendment. So I'm going to go ahead and add the Seneca Falls Convention to my timeline. And I know the dates. Now, you saw that I clicked Add Time Span. When you add a time span, you do not add a photo. When you add an event, you always have the option of adding a photo. The Seneca Falls Convention took place over a 2-day period, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in here, 1848. The important part comes here. This is critical. In order for you to create links, you must format in a precise manner. So you start with a bracket, and then you type in what it is you want your link to say. I want my link to say Seneca Falls Convention, and then I close the bracket. Now I have to find some research. So let's look at Seneca Falls Convention. And because I've been researching this already, several things are going to come up. You can choose to link a website. You can choose to link a video. I'm going to choose a video. You can choose to link audio. I'm going to pause this and open it up on YouTube because you need the YouTube link. So once you get to YouTube, click share, copy the link, go back to the editing phase of your timeline. Do not skip any spaces after you close the bracket. Open your parentheses, paste your link, close your parentheses, and then you hit Create Time Span. And you have now created a time span. To show you how to add an event, I said I want this to end with the 19th Amendment. So next, let's look and find the date for the ratification of the 19th Amendment. August 18th, 1920. So going back to the timeline, the date is August 18th, 1920. And I want to add a photo here. Now, I already have a photo, but I need to show you how to add photos. I want to find an image for 19th Amendment ratified. And I can choose this image, and I will screenshot the image, which saves it to my computer. And then I go back here, upload the image from my computer, go into the pictures, find that screenshot, which will be somewhere near the end since I just completed that. Not quite the most fun image, but any image will do. Open, and the image shows up right here. Now, ratification. This is what I want my link to say. Open your bracket. Ratification of the 19th Amendment. I am going to go back and capitalize ratification. And let's find some information about the 19th Amendment. I always tell my students you can use a timeline to help you find information, but you cannot use a timeline as a source. You can also not use Wikipedia as a source. So I'm going to go here to Rock the Vote, and I'm going to click on this website. I'm going to copy the link to the website, go back to my timeline, open my parentheses, paste the link, close my parentheses, and create event. And you will see this time you have a picture showing because you created an event rather than a time span. I always suggest that every couple of entries, leave editing mode and check and make sure that your links are working correctly. To leave editing mode, you use the drop down next to your title, hit view, and it will show you your timeline. And you can see it on a traditional timeline like so, or you can see it in list like so. I'm going to go with the traditional timeline. And I'm going to check this link by clicking on it. And it does work. It works just fine. So my links are good. Now to go back to editing mode, click the three dots at the top, go back into edit. I want to add a couple more things to show you what happens if you do not put in a link in the correct way. So I'm going to add Elizabeth Cady Stanton's speech at the Seneca Falls Convention. Keynote address is what she gave. She gave the keynote address on July. This is an event. So it was on July 19th, the first day of the convention, 1848, which means it is going to be inside of that time span that we saw earlier. Now let's find some information for this. And we will type in Elizabeth Cady Stanton. Seneca Falls speech comes up. And this is a PDF. So I want to link this PDF. And as you can see, well, I did not link it. I did something wrong. As you can see, this is way more engaging for kids. It helps them to learn about what they're studying as they're creating a tool for other people to learn and study what it is they're looking at. So I'm going to do this one incorrectly so you can see what happens. I'm going to put in keynote address, close my bracket, open my parentheses, paste my link, but I do not close my parentheses. So now I want a picture. And here is Elizabeth Cady Stanton. I already had that picture saved. I'm going to create the event. We're going to go back and we're going to check and make sure my link works. And this is why I say every now and then, check your links. Elizabeth Cady Stanton keynote. And this link is broken because it is not showing up the way it should. So I'm going to get out of this, go back into editing, and fix this link. You see how it looks different than the others? Let's fix this one. All we need to do is close our parentheses, update the event, and now the link works just perfectly. I'm going to add one more time span, and then I will show you how to submit and send this. There was another very important person at this event by the name of Lucretia Mott. This is a time span because I want to cover the entirety of her life. So we're going to look up Lucretia Mott. And again, a time span means that you will not be using a picture. We have an overview. She was born January 3rd, 1793. Let's put this date in. January 3rd, 1793. And she died on November 11th, 1880. She lived a very long life. Now let's find some information about Lucretia Mott. Again, Wikipedia is not a viable source, so we're going to choose this National Women's History Museum source. Copy the link and create. As you can see, I missed my bracket. I will correct that because we want it to show. And there's our time spent. So we have a few things here. When we look at it outside of editing mode, in the view mode, it looks like so. And we can click on any of these items and it will take us to the website, the PDF, or the video that we have added so far. Whenever you're ready to send, you will come here, you will share your link, copy, and then paste the link into an email to your teacher. And that is how you create a timeline on Timetoast. In summary, it is a fun and engaging alternative to the traditional timeline. It allows students to interact with the material while teaching them how to use discernment as they strengthen their research skills. And it can be used in any subject in which you would like your students to trace the progress of ideas or events in that particular subject area.